So in terms of the constellation work that you've been doing, are you going to have another class coming up, or it sounded like you're bringing a few different knowledge fields together? You're integrating something. Why don't you say something about that?
Okay. So what happened is that the Feng Shui, I noticed that if I parlayed the constellation, because when people say that my husband's blocking me, or I'm feeling blocked with, work, it's nothing's going through, we can't get these deals to go through. Part of it is the Feng Shui in the space, which I would probably uncover. But if I add constellation, like systemic, like what happened with your mother and your mother's mother, or your dad and your dad's dad, I can see down the line that what you're holding, it's actually a piece of the puzzle. And then now it's mirroring the Feng Shui. Like I can, now that I have the mother piece, and I can actually now go into their office and go, yep, that's what it was. Because now I can find extra signs, like it, not just signs about their marriage. I can find signs about, entanglements and arranged marriages and how she feels. And it's awesome. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Didn't you just have a client, like you said, you were driving there on the way and you were given, like you're getting the actual information before you go in, and then it's there?
Yeah, I play this game, Elijah. When I go to appointments, if I'm looking for extra information, doesn't matter what it is, I say, universe, give me some signs. And I just read the traffic. I read people trying to block me. I read if somebody's speeding. I read if somebody's unconscious. I see a bird flying over, or 5 eagles. Like I really look for the omens, like the alchemist. And so when I was driving there, it was like I kept seeing block. It wasn't blocking me, it was blocking her. But after discovery, I realized that it was her blocking her. Her husband wasn't blocking her. She was actually blocking her husband. She was saying what she was doing and then making it about her, that was her husband, the reason why she couldn't get forward or move forward in the business. And actually it was her mother. She was holding her mother's energy, and she couldn't move forward because she was entangled with her mother and her uncle, which became her son. Her son was actually acting like the dead uncle, and she was acting like the dead mother. And so I made them do the constellation. And then after I had them like be normal and just talk to each other, and I say something to your dad. Well, you know what the son / uncle did? Dad, you need to step it up. And I was like, oh, still there. I couldn't clean it up because we just didn't have enough people, and I was just giving them a sample of what's going on in the constellation. So now I know to mix the two. It's just, how do I solve it? Like there was only 4 of us, including me, 5. So how do I do an awareness? Because constellations is about feeling it in your body. Because everybody there cried that night. Everybody cried. I had them in positions, other people, aunts, uncles, you name it, and all of them shed a tear, except for the son. He was like, he was so puffy, like he was so proud of his ego, like he wasn't gonna let anybody in because he's so protected his heart, because he just grew up hurt. Because his dad can't give to him, because his dad died when he was 12, same as Gary, same day. And it's interesting. All the universe is just mirroring everything. If the more I look, the more it becomes like this game of stuff. But I was worried actually, Elijah, because it was pretty heavy. And I was in my mind, my low self-esteem mind that said, Lisa, that was too much. You didn't do it right. You were too aggressive. You took a sledgehammer on that guy. You should learn to be more gentle, and like not just allowing me to show up how I need to show up to learn. I was like upset. And then Gary found about Gary passing away an hour later. And then I was worried that they were going to ditch me as a client. Like, we don't need Lisa anymore. That was just too much. Like that was my normal response with women is, put the brakes on. No, sorry, I don't think so, lady. And so I waited a day, and then I called her. I said, how's it going? Just want to make sure everybody's okay. Lisa, we are so good. All of us feel so light. And guess what? We did those Feng Shui cures that you recommended. We've got a lot done. We went and cleaned up the yard together. We picked up garbage and smoking butts. We did that yesterday, and he got rid of the broken mirror, and now we're selling his house. We're just getting it ready. And I'm like, holy cow, woo! And I said, well, hey, if you need, I said, no, I don't have to charge you, but if you need any kind of, I know you're good at Feng Shui, but if you want a second opinion on the house before you put it on the market, let me know. I'd love to help you. Or if it gets stuck, let me know. You're so sweet. Oh, Lisa, you're just so kind. Thank you. I said, no, you're like my new family. I said, you're like my new adopted family. She goes, well, come by anytime. Come and see us anytime. I'm like, okay, I'm coming by on Friday. All right, we'll be here, or Ram will be here for sure, but come by.
I mean, that must just feel so fulfilling, because it sounds as if you can come into any family and you're given some, like a radar, where you can just spot where the places are that need a little adjustments, and that once you make the adjustments, the whole system starts to change.
Yeah. And holding my truth, Elijah, I'm learning that I do have a lot of wisdom, and I just haven't allowed myself to be okay that I see things and I feel things, and give myself permission to just breathe a little more this year and walk like a tiger through water. Just walk, let's try to move a little slower and little like, okay, that's, you said that to your husband or whatever, and find another, I need to find that grace where I'm moving in like a tiger and just batting them lightly, not let me take out the fucking claws, like do one of those. And that would be my grace this year, is just learning to slow down and breathe. And thank God these things save my freaking ass. These things are like amazing, Elijah. For me, my nervous system, these are whatever this magic is that I've been gifted. I'm just grateful it's for me. I just feel very honored right now by the universe.